keep everybody moving.
Yeah.
Hello, how you doing? Where you going? Amtrak, Metrolink, MTA, okay. Alvera, Chinatown, Little Tokyo, okay.
Great.
Immigration, Metropolitan Water District, okay.
So how long do you do that? Like how many hours a day you stand here and do this?
Well, we switch.
Yeah.
Me and that unit over there, we switch every hour.
Okay. All right.
Every hour.
So
9 o'clock, and then 9 o'clock we switch, go inside the lobby for
Okay.
an hour, and then we,
all right.
you know.
You get a bit of a change of scenery throughout
Yes,
the day. Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm just kidding. I'll send them up for you right now. Thank you. She thought it was serious. Hold on, let me point out. Open it. No, that's fine. Open the turnstile for
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You're welcome. The last one.
Yeah, we moved around.
These are my friends are artists, and they're walking the high-speed railroad.
That's what the tracks do, and that's what the Gold Line does. You'll see on the other side of there's a street. You're going to follow that street across, and then basically that'll take you over to the LA River, and then you start following the LA River. Just for purposes of this project, anyway.
Yeah.
To all the way up to San Fernando Road, and then keep going.
Oh, right.
And that'll get you to where you want to go for now.
Yeah.
That's your day.
That's my day.
Yeah.
So that's what you're walking, you can't,
Yeah.
you don't have to give them $1 for every mile or anything like that. Different brothers,
Yeah.
different fathers.
Yeah.
Whatever else, you know.
He's been working very hard on high-speed rail for what, 3 years now? 4 years?
We'll talk. We'll keep talking.
I'll see you at 10 o'clock.
It feels that way, I know.
Jeez.
But no, he has been absolutely amazing in providing guidance on, from a Metro perspective, where we're going, what it looks like, how we're going to be
Metro
working together.
perspective.
I'm just an opening
It's just
act.
a whole
He's
life
good. I just give you a warm-up, and then he comes in with the heavy stuff, you know. See when it changes. Yeah,
It's an interesting,
that's
I
Luego.
Take care, Steve.
don't know if I can call it a dichotomy or not.
Yeah.
You have engineers on one hand, and
Stay
you
in
have
touch.
a lack
I
of
definitely
urban
will.
planners
Take care.
Yeah.
on the other. And
Yeah.
there's a conflict in the approaches, actually.
Really sad.
Yeah.
I'm an artist as well.
Oh, really?
In fact, we did the workshops together, and I was working here.
And
Did
yeah,
you?
I did a community plan,
Dawn.
and I had been encouraging James with his
Yeah.
technique for some time. So he actually came out and did it. What was it? Wondered folks, like, I live in a community too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
There are things that happen that I don't always agree with, and so forth.
Yeah.
So let's keep that in perspective.
Yeah.
We all live in a community. I think a lot of folks that practice in this business don't remember
Yeah.
that they actually live in a community and are affected by folks like us in their own right.
Yeah.
Well, that's one of the toughest things, is kind of being very, very sensitive to the communities that we're working with, but also keeping that regional perspective, that statewide perspective of the benefit of the project. And so that's, and it really is a balancing act, because no one wants, any sort of infrastructure.
Except when we
that's
bring in
going to-
Yoda. Yoda the wise.
In their case.
Don't rip the paper out. I'll just write it down.
Oh, that's all right.
Yeah, right here.
Hey, howdy.
Nate.
Hey,
They're
Louis McAdams.
walking the high-speed railroad.
Why?
Starting today.
Yeah. What are you trying to discover and/or prove? Or we can probably go inside.
They're artists,
Yeah. Oh, that's it. So there's.
and what happened, I met them in Portland. I did a workshop there in Portland.
So you guys are from Portland?
We live in Portland.
Oh.
He lives in Scotland.
We're originally.
So you guys are going to walk from here to
Cornfield next.
Cornfield.
Cornfields.
Yeah, we'll be speaking to Louis.
Cornfields is an
Yes,
interesting,
His meeting of
another
those
of those weird situations. Cornfield used to be an old railroad,
Yeah.
and they found a roundhouse back in the old days. They would decouple the trains and turn the locomotives around on the wheelhouse. So the remains they find in the cornfield.
Underneath.
Wonderful, right?
Yeah.
Great. LA needs more historic somethings or other, right?
But essentially, there's several issues of contention. One is probably the most important area of contention is here.
Yeah.
But their idea is to excavate it, let the archaeologists go in and catalog everything, and recover it, bury it back. It's like, and you can't put the high-speed rail tunnel under this because it may disturb the dirt.
The high-speed rail's original goal was basically to essentially use the cornfield history as a staging area.
Why not make it even more?
Yeah.
But they should be made available to the public. The same as the high-speed train should be designed and built in a way that is the least obtrusive to the communities through which it will traverse. So,
Yeah.
still a lot of work to be done to get to that. So.
And the original thing, as far as I was aware, was just to plow right through the cornfield. Then this next thing was to go under the cornfield, but to use the cornfield as the staging area for a long tunnel. A tunnel that could be as much as 2 miles long, and would take, I don't know, how many years were they?
2 years. It was a bore operation. You think they're going down below into, the substrate here and underneath the lesion. So what they have to do is truck all that rubble and debris out through. So basically, this would become a construction site, which shut down the park, shut down. It basically stalls our development plans, which is to go to construction in 2013. So we build a park and they'd be ripping it out.
Yeah.
And it was a cut and cover concept, which was about a 120-foot wide trench, blasting right through the middle of archaeological resources. So we think we've staved off that particular threat.
It seems like that's defeated, but you never know.
You never know.
Yeah. The best laid plans from the point of view of state parks, how would they go? Where would they begin to go underground?
Well, what they told us originally was that it wasn't technically feasible to come out of Union Station at a steep enough grade to, by the time they got to the park, to be able to get underneath the park. Lo and behold, they go back to the drawing board after community opposition, and they can do it. What they're telling us is that they can now come out at a steep enough grade. So, the perfect case scenario would be for not only to avoid the park, but to avoid the surrounding community, because this is part of the Cornfield Arroyo Seco specific plan. So the park will obviously spur mixed use and adaptive reuse development along the park. So the park and the community are kind of interlinked as one. What they're telling us, though, is that they're going to come. The trench will probably start somewhere in the vicinity of the LA Conservation Corps building, and that will be the giant portal that you'll see entering the park. By that point, they'll be getting down to about 60-65 feet below surface, and then tunneling underneath the park. And at a cost of, currently, they're telling us it's $1 billion a mile.
Exercises that go out to communities are so, excuse the French, but freaking boring, okay, and pedantic, that, you wonder why people are antagonists. You're boring me to death. That's reason number one. You haven't said anything to me. All you've done is come out and just told me basically, you go pound sand. You're going to do what you want to do in my community. What about my involvement and participation? What about my views and desires and hopes?
What the alliance or the coalition or whatever you want to call it, which includes FOLAR and Natural Resource Defense Council, what we endorse is the long tunnel option, which is go underground and don't come up till you get past the park up till near the 2.
Or the freeway option.
That's kind of more the art option. That was what Brett was pushing.
But this is the easiest thing in the world, because all you do is take a land off the freeway, put it on there.
Yeah.
That's the easiest thing to do. Costs no money.
So why are they not looking at that?
Because they're stupid. They want to do the expensive tunnel option, but this is the easiest option. You just put the high-speed rail, take out the lane of traffic on the freeway. It's not going to kill people, right? Put it right there.
Yeah, but that's
I agree.
sacrilegious in Southern California.
But that would save you billions of dollars.
I know, I have seen no political support for it.
And you have a barrier already there.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have to move, you wouldn't have to touch anything.
Yeah, no, it's true.
I mean, that would make total sense.
Budgets and whatnot, and it just seems rather than doing something like that, it just seems just more interesting to be able to sort of deal with all the complicated communities and cultures you got through and getting people talking and sort of kind of coming to solutions. I mean, maybe that's a really naive.
Well, it's not naive, it's just
but-
not on the ground.
Yeah.
I mean, because you're dealing with, human beings, and they all have interests, and most of them are to keep the project from going through their backyard.
Yeah.
I mean, the power of NIMBYism is quite large, especially in something like this, which public agencies are, central to the making of it.
Yeah.
And I completely agree with you, but it's never been on the table.
What is this list? It's the 100th anniversary, 2013, and I really want to walk the entire aqueduct from up north down here. So I'm curious.
In some ways, part of the class is teaching. So it's got all those different scenarios.
Planners are being cops. We bring to tell you what you can and can't do, and we're friends with developers. But they never see planners outside that arena. Like the work I do, so outside what planners do. It's always very like, we're going to tell you what you can, how you can, what kind of window you need in your house.
But the idea of actually asking the person whose life is going to be impacted by the city plan or by the medical plan or the educational plan is such a radical idea that you actually, you go to people and you say, well, what's your experience?
Yeah, but it makes so much sense because people all live in the city, all have ideas, and it's amazing their ideas. I mean, I'm always fascinated by people's ideas.
Yeah.
So it's interesting, and in the one case you've got the collapse of time and space, and in the other one you've got people are very much rooted in their place. As time progresses in a usual daily experience, and you're walking. So you're kind of collapsing time and space, but you're bringing that same quotidian perception and speed with you.
That's gross, dude. That's real gross. I don't see it.